Okay, in this tutorial I'm going to demonstrate installing Fedora, the latest version of Fedora, which is Fedora 16 on a virtual machine using VMware Player. You can see I have a Windows Server VM, I've got an Ubuntu 11.10 VM, and now we're going to do a Fedora Linux VM. So I'm at fedoraproject.org, all right, and let's take a look at this website. Looks pretty nice. I'm going to click the, let's see here, download button. See where it is. Right up here at top it says download. So Fedora 16 Desktop Edition, installable live media, download now. So this is what we'll grab, this live media edition right here. 605 megabytes ISO format, 32-bit, Intel compatible PCs, that's perfect. Alright, so click download, and I'm going to save the file. Alright, and once that's downloaded, we'll run the install. Okay, the ISO for Fedora finished downloading, and then I copied it to my desktop. Here it is right here. Okay, so it's a similar process. I've got VMware Player here. I want to create a new VM for Fedora 16, so create new virtual machine. I have the disk image file on my desktop, so I'm just going to browse for it. And let's find it here. There it is, Fedora. Right? I'll hit next. And notice it asks me to choose the operating system. So Linux, right? Version. So actually, if I scroll up, find it. There's Fedora 64-bit, but this is a 32-bit. So I'm just going to click on Fedora and hit next. And virtual machine name, I'm going to name it Fedora 16 and hit next. I'll also do a 20 gig size hard drive. Hit next and finish. Alright, I'll click OK for the removable devices. And we can see the install is going. I'm just watching it here. Okay, down here it says install Fedora as you would on a physical computer. When you are done and the operating system boots up, click I finished installing. Okay, so Steve just pointed something out to me, and that is we're doing this off of the live CD. So we're not actually installing Fedora 16 yet. We're basically running it in this virtual machine. So GNOME 3 failed to load. If you see this message, that's okay. I'm just going to hit close. Alright. And you can see here that Fedora booted up. Now this is a live CD, so what we want to do now is we actually want to install this to the hard drive. So I'm going to click on Applications here. Let's see here. System Tools. And it says Install to hard drive. And so I'll do that. I'll say install the live CD to your hard disk, install to hard drive. We'll click on that. And now the live CD will be placed onto the hard drive in our virtual machine. Okay, here's the installer. I'm going to hit next, US English. Basic storage devices. What type of devices will your installation involve? Basic, so that's fine. I'll hit next. Alright, the storage devices below may contain yes, discard, no, keep any data. Yes, discard any data. Since this is a new disk, I'll just say yes, discard any data, or no, keep any data. Alright, localhost, local domain. I'm just going to accept the default. I'm going to pick my time zone. I'm just going to search for the closest, nearest time zone destination. Hit next, and then now I need to put in my root password. Alright, for your root password, longer is better. Longer and more complex is usually better. I'm just going to put in a quick password here. Alright, next. Alright, what type of installation replace existing Linux systems. That's the default. What type of installation would you like? Use all space. Yeah, since this is a clean install, it doesn't really matter. I'm not going to encrypt the system from the start. Use LVM as checkmark, that's fine. I'll hit next. Okay, write changes to disk. Now notice I'm writing these changes to disk, but this is the virtual disk. This is the virtual space that has been allocated by VMware Player, right, or by VMware. So when you're doing this, you're not overwriting your, let's say, your Windows operating system or what have you. This is just going to be happening on this virtual disk space that you've allocated for this virtual machine. Okay, it's copying the live image to the hard drive, and when this is done, I'll resume the video and finish the tutorial. Okay, congratulations, your Fedora installation is complete. Alright, we're going to need to reboot the system to start it up. So we'll click reboot. Alright, I'm going to click I finished installing here. It's booting right now. Okay, we've got the welcome screen here, and it's going to ask us for a few things. We'll say forward, capture the mouse. Alright, license information, forward, set our date. Alright, Saturday the 14th, perfect, forward. Create a user. You're going to need a set up a user right off the bat. So I'll just put my name in here, username Dan. I'll set the password. Let's see here. And I'm also going to, this is important, thanks Steve, I want to make sure to check add this user to an administrator's group. Alright, that looks good. I'll scroll down here, forward, and hardware profile. This is, see that it seems like the operating system has detected pretty much everything, the hardware. And do not send profile. I'm not going to send it. I'm just going to hit finish. No, do not send. All right. And there we are. So here is the Fedora Release 16 login screen. I'll click on my username, put in my password, and we'll log in for the first time. Okay, GNOME 3 failed to start properly. It's going to go into fallback mode. That's okay. You can read here the message. This most likely means your system, graphics, hardware, or driver is not capable of delivering the full fancy GNOME 3 desktop experience. But that's fine. As long as I have a graphical user desktop right here, I'm pleased. Alright, notice the applications here on the left, places, network monitor tool, and I am set. Alright, looks like it's up and running. So right now I can, if I want to, virtual machine power and suspend the power to the virtual machine, and basically shutting down my, saving my Linux Fedora virtual machine. And now I have a Fedora 16 virtual machine, an Ubuntu 11.10 virtual machine, and my Windows server. And that was pretty good.